Okay. So today first we'll discuss a little bit about atmosphere, then atmosphere pressure, then we'll move towards the difference of the atmosphere pressure at different places, which generates to winds, which creates winds. Okay. So first we already have discussed Earth, and we have a mixture of gas that is called as atmosphere. Okay. And and in this chapter mainly will be concentrated with troposphere only. In this chapter, we'll be concentrated only with troposphere, since all the weather phenomena are taking in troposphere. So, this chapter, whenever we say, it means we're discussing the troposphere. Okay, we will be limited to troposphere, since all the weather phenomena are taking place in troposphere. So, Earth, as we have already discussed, atmosphere is nothing but a mixture of gases. So there are gases surrounding the Earth's surface. And this mixture of gas surrounding the Earth's surface, this envelope is called as atmosphere. Now see here how the pressure varies. We have already discussed the maximum gravity is on the Earth's surface. Maximum gravity is on the Earth's surface. Therefore, the pressure near the Earth's surface is maximum. And as we move up, as the altitude increases, pressure decreases. One reason is Earth's gravity. For this reduction in pressure as we move up in the atmosphere. One reason is Earth's gravity. Other reason, since air near the Earth's surface, over it other layers of air is present and they exert pressure. Because of this, the lowest layer, it becomes more dense. This will be more dense as compared to this. And this will be more dense as compared to the layer lying above it. So as we move up, the density of air decreases. Okay, so two reasons. One is the Earth's gravity, other is pressure from the layers lying above it. So maximum pressure is near the Earth's surface. As you move up, pressure decreases. So altitude, with rise in altitude, with increase in altitude, the pressure decreases. This is clear?
Sir, clear.
Okay, all clear.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now see here, the pressure exerted by the air. The pressure exerted by this air is called as air pressure. The pressure exerted by this air is called as air pressure. That is, air is nothing but mixture of gases. So it is maximum near the Earth's surface. As the altitude increases, it decreases. Okay. Okay. Now we'll be discussing the factors which affect air pressure. Affecting air pressure. So here first factor, second, third. First we'll be discussing is the altitude. Altitude we already discussed how it varies. Second, temperature. Third is rotation of Earth. Okay. So altitude little bit we have already discussed. The air pressure decreases. Now see here. Okay. For example, here the pressure is low as compared to the surrounding area. Here pressure is high, here pressure is low. So what will happen? As the pressure is low, the air from here, it starts to move towards the low pressure area. It will start to move towards the low pressure area. Now it pushes, as the pressure is low, here this air will start to rise. This air will start to rise up. As the surrounding area comes and piles up there, it starts to rise. Okay, this is one thing. Okay, these all are clubbed together. Okay, I discussed with temperature we start. Okay. equator, we have here we have the pole. Okay. Now see here, most of the driving force for the winds is the solar energy. So we have already discussed mainly the heat is concentrated on the so area near the earth equator get heated. Because of this, air above equator, air above it, above the equator, it gets heated. As air gets heated, what happens? It expands, it expands. So air near the equator expands. As it expands, its pressure decreases. Its pressure decreases, it moves up in the atmosphere. It moves, it rises. The air rises up. Now it is rising, it again it expands now. Here the air got warmed. Its air pressure decreased, it rises up. Now it starts to expand. As it rises, it cools in the upper atmosphere and it diverges. The air starts to diverge. Now see what happens on the pole. On the pole, air is cold, very less heat is reaching the pole. Therefore, air here, it is cold, it is dense air, it is cold. So what happens? It moves towards the equator. This air will move towards the equator. And here the air gets heated, it expands, it rises up. It becomes less dense, it rises up, and it gets cooled in the upper atmosphere. As it expands, expansion due to expansion, air gets cooled. And now it moves towards the pole. Now see it again. Here on the equator, air get heated. As air get heated, it starts to expand and it rises. As air get heated, it starts to rise. It is rising up in the atmosphere. Now here it get cooled. It expand. It is as it get cooled, it starts to diverge. It starts to expand. Now being cooled, it moves towards the pole. And what happens here? The cold air, it rushes towards the equator to take its place. So there is a one cell generated here. There is one circulation of air generated here. Similarly, this air gets here in the southern hemisphere pole. Since the cold air is there, it rushes towards the equator. So this is how the air circulates. Okay, this is the case when there is no rotation of the earth. This is the case when there is no rotation of the earth. So what happens? The air here on the equator, take it like this equator, here we have pole. So here the air got heated, it rises up. So all the air on the equator get heated, it is getting heated, it rises up. Now here an anticyclone is formed. Air starts to diverge now in all the directions. And now it moves towards the pole. What happens here? It's a cold air. Now there is a difference in pressure. Here is low pressure, here is high pressure. Since it is cold air, it is high pressure. Here it is hot air, it is low pressure. Therefore, this air will rush towards the equator. It rushes towards the equator, and this air in the top atmosphere, in the top of the atmosphere, that is in the troposphere, it rushes towards the pole. Now it gets cooled here again. Here the air which have reached, it moves up, the circulation continues. Similarly, in the southern hemisphere, it continues. So see here what we are having here. Here all the air is rushing towards the equator. The air is rushing towards the equator. Since here low pressure is developed. So here the air gets heated and it rises up. So all the air rushes towards it. And we see all the air rushing towards the equator. And here is cyclone is formed. This is called a cyclone. This is zone of convergence. That is, all the air from the sound is converging on the equator. The air from the sound it is converging on the equator. It gets heated, it rises, and it moves up in the atmosphere. Now, as it moves up in the atmosphere, it expands. Since pressure decreases, air expands and is cooled down. As the expansion of the air happens, it get cooled down here. And see here, here it is low pressure. Now, since on the pole, it is very cold, very less heat reaches from the sun. So it is very cold. Here the air is very cold and very dense as well. It is very dense as well. So this dense air, here we have high pressure. So from high pressure, and we have the difference in pressures. Here low pressure, here high pressure. So air from here will rush here. Now this air which is diverging in the top atmosphere. Here there is zone of divergence. Here zone of convergence, air converges. It rises up, now it diverges. It diverges. And here we have zone of divergence, that is anticyclone is formed. Here cyclone is formed, here anticyclone is formed. So here converges, now rises, then get cooled, and then diverges. And this air rushes towards the pole. And from pole, it rushes towards the low pressure. This is how circulation of air takes place. And why there is a circulation of air? Because of differential heating of the atmosphere. Here the atmosphere get more heated. Here atmosphere get less heated. Because of that, there's a difference in the pressure generated. There's a difference in the pressure. Because of that, air moves. And why does air move? To balance the atmospheric pressure. To balance the atmospheric pressure. There's a difference. So to balance that, it moves here. Now the air which rushed here again get heated. It rises. Now it expands, diverges, again moves towards the pole, again get cooled, rushes. Like this, the circulation is continuous. Okay, this is the circulation when no rotation is considered. This is very simple model where no rotation is considered. No rotation is considered. When rotation is considered, a little bit more change will be there in this circulation. This is clear?
Yes, sir.
So see here what happens. If this is the equator, here I have the North Pole, here the South Pole. Okay, there will be less heat here, reaching from the sun on the North Pole and South Pole. Therefore, here we have cold air, high pressure. High pressure will be there. Here we have high pressure as well on the South Pole. These are called as polar high. Here, polar high. This is North polar high. This is South polar high. It means high pressure are there on the North Pole and the South Pole. But what happens on the equator? Most of the heat is concentrated on the equator. Please don't type anything there. Or put anything there, chat box. And on what happens? Most of the heat is concentrated on the equator. Okay, I'm explaining it again. Just look here. Okay, so most of the heat is concentrated on the equator. Therefore, what happens to the air here? It gets warmer. It will become hot. It will be warm air. Here the cold air. Here we have warm air on the equator. We are having warm air on the equator, cold air on the poles. Okay, cold air means more dense. Here density is more. Here warm air. As air gets heated, its molecule expands. They become more further apart. So density decreases. Density decreases. Air pressure decreases. Pressure is directly proportional to density. If density is more, pressure is more. If density is less, pressure is less. This we have studied. Okay, just see it here. We'll explain it again. So now see here. Here, more heat, more temperature, density will decrease, pressure will decrease. So on the equator, density decreases. Now see here, density decreases, pressure decreases. Here pressure decreases, here pressure is high, here pressure is low. Here we have low pressure. Here we have high pressure. Here we have high pressure. On the poles we have high pressure, we have low pressure here on the equator. Now see here, whenever there is a difference in pressure, the wind blows from high pressure towards low pressure. to balance that one. That is clear. Similarly, water flows from height towards the lowlands. So wind will flow from high pressure towards the low pressure to equalize that, to balance that one. So what will happen? This air here, it is a warm air, it will rise. Warm air always rises. It rises and it expands. It starts to expand because pressure decreases as well with altitude, because the so it expands. It expands, it gets cooled. Okay. Now it diverges like that in this direction, towards the poles, both the poles it moves. Okay. So now what will happen? This cold air, it is more dense. Here it is less dense. Here we have low pressure. Here we have high pressure. This cold air will rush towards the low pressure. Here as well from here. Cold air will rush towards the pressure and they converge. They're converging. They are meeting. Converging we already discussed. They converge. That is called a cyclone is formed here. All the air from the surrounding comes towards the equator. And this is called zone of convergence. Zone of convergence, the place where these air converge. This is called cyclone. And on top here, what is happening? It is moving away. That is, it is diverging. It is moving away. It is diverging. This is called as zone of divergence. Zone of divergence. And it is called as anticyclone. Here we have cyclone. Here we have anticyclone in top atmosphere. That is in troposphere, tropopause, near the tropopause. Now see what will happen. This air rushed. It is getting cooled in the upper atmosphere and it moves back. Okay, this is how the circulation continues. Here as well, it moves down. This is how the circulation continues. Is this clear now? This is how the circulation continues of the wind. This is the case when there is no rotation of the earth is considered. When we are considering earth as still, that is stationary. Okay, little variation will be there when rotation is considered. Okay, this is clear. So on the equator, most of the heat is concentrated. Temperature increases. As temperature increases, density decreases. Density decreases, pressure decreases. Here we have a zone of low pressure. This is called as equatorial low pressure zone. This is called as equatorial low pressure belt. A belt is there, like, okay, that we'll discuss afterwards. Here low pressure is discussed. Low pressure is there, equatorial low pressure. And here on the poles, since very less heat is reaching, they are very cold. So their temperature is very less temperature, more density, more pressure. So they are called as polar high pressure zones are there. So when there is a difference in the pressure, the air blows from high pressure towards the low pressure to balance the air pressure. So it blows towards the equator, and this is how the circulation continues. Is this clear now?
Yes,
Clear. Very clear.
Okay. So now if rotation is concerned, and rotation of the earth is there, Coriolis force will come into effect. Coriolis force or Coriolis effect, it will come into effect, and there is Farrell's law. Farrell's law we already discussed.
Yes, sir.
Northern hemisphere, southern hemisphere. So here a body, if any body is moving, that is any fluid moves, so it will get deflected in which direction? When it is in northern hemisphere, it will deflect towards right. So it will get deflected towards it right. Okay. If it is moving this direction, it get deflected towards it right. Okay. In the southern hemisphere, it get deflected towards its left. Okay. This is Farrell's law. Coriolis effect comes into play, and this is called Farrell's law. That is, the body get deflected towards it right in the northern hemisphere, whereas it will deflect towards its south, towards its left in the southern hemisphere. And because of that, See here, we have discussed this is high pressure, here we have low pressure. So wind rises, moves towards the pole, and then comes back towards the equator. This is how circulation was taking place, similarly in the southern hemisphere. But because of rotation, there is a little bit variation in this. That is, earlier without rotation we discussed, here the low pressure is formed, low pressure on the equator. And here we have the high pressure, okay? But because of rotation of the earth, here high pressure is as well formed, and here low pressure is formed. This is because of rotation of the earth. Because of the rotation of the earth, two more pressure belts are formed. High pressure here, low pressure here. These will So once see in page number 109, open page 109. Okay, so introduction we have discussed, because of differential heating of the atmosphere, it causes the winds to flow. Okay, components of weather, there are many components of weather like temperature, wind, precipitation, those are the components of weather. Okay, and what does winds do? Movement of air, they transfer moisture and the heat. Okay, these all will be discussing. Okay, concept of air pressure we have discussed. In that, see here on page number 19, second column, force exerted against the surface by continuous collision of gas molecules. After that, what line is written? Cut from that one. The amount of pressure exerted by air particle is determined by two factors, which temperature and density. That is fine. But after that, C is there. C point is there. Cut that one. Okay. D point as well cut. E point as well cut. Okay, there is no need to study them. There are little bit mistakes in there. Pressure is not equal to density into temperature. That is not the equation of pressure. It is written pressure equal to rho into temperature. Pressure is indirectly proportional to temperature. And it is not, it's wrong equation. Pressure is H rho G. Okay, pressure depends on density. Density depends on temperature. Okay, this equation you cut. This is wrong. So C, D, E part, no need to study them. Leave them. Or it will confuse you. Don't study them. Okay, pressure gradient we have to discuss. Okay, factors affecting air pressure, altitude we have discussed. And influence of temperature on pressure we have discussed. Influence of rotation of earth, that we will be discussing. Okay, we'll discuss along with pressure belts, along with this. Pressure gradient. What does you mean? What does pressure gradient mean? Okay, pressure we already know. Gradient. What does gradient mean? It's the slope. So see a pressure gradient. Pressure we already seen. If from one place, this is 1 second. If there is a difference in pressure, okay. If there is a difference in pressure, we can know the difference in pressure. If it is here P1, here P2 pressure. So this P2 is high pressure, this is low pressure. So what will be the difference in pressure? P2 minus P1. This is the difference in air pressure between these two places P2 minus P1. If P1 is high, P1 is low, this will be the difference in pressure. Now pressure gradient means here distance is also considered. That is, if how many distance. So pressure gradient means how the pressure is varying per kilometer or per distance, per unit distance. How the pressure is varying with distance. That is rate of change of pressure with respect to distance. This is called as pressure gradient. Okay. Rate of change of pressure. How the pressure is changing with respect to distance. That is called as pressure gradient. Okay. Now see here, if pressure gradient is more. If pressure gradient is more, what does it mean? If pressure gradient is more, it means the change in pressure is happening more. More change in pressure is taking place. Yes or no? If pressure gradient is more, it means this is high or this may be low distance. It means pressure is changing more in a very small distance. That is, change in pressure is more. So that means if we draw the isobars means, what do you mean by isobars? Iso means same, bars means bar is the unit of pressure. So isobars means if we connect all the places
Lines
having
joining
the
same pressure.
yes, lines joining the places which are having the same pressure. So if pressure gradient is more, that means these lines will be very close. In a very small distance, there will be more change in pressure. So these lines will be very close. That means pressure gradient is very steep. The slope is very steep. This is clear. Now, if pressure gradient is small, it means either this is very low or distance is very large. That means over a very large area, there's less variation in temperature. So pressure isobars will be far apart. Isobar will be more far apart. This is clear. If they are very close to each other, it is called as pressure gradient is more. That is steep pressure gradient. That is pressure is changing very fast. And here, if they are very far away from each other, if there is more distance between the isobars, that is pressure is gradually changing. Very less, by less amount it is changing. This is clear, pressure gradient. Now, see here, in which case wind will blow more fast? First case or the second case? More fast wind.
Sir, first case.
In first case, since sorry, pressure gradient is more, winds will be more fast. Storms will be there. Here, very less, very slow wind will flow. Okay, depending on the pressure gradient, the wind will flow. More the pressure gradient, more fast the wind will be. Less the pressure gradient, wind will be. This is gradient. So altitude we already discussed, factors affecting the air pressure. Altitude we have already discussed. In low altitudes, that is near the surface, pressure will be more. As you move up in the atmosphere, pressure decreases. This is clear. So in the low altitude, if air rises up, it will expand. It will expand. Since more the pressure, more air is pushing. So the molecules get more close. But as it rises up in the atmosphere, it get little bit rarefied. They are moving apart. That is, density is decreasing. Okay. And if we, okay, I can give you one example. For example, you have filled balloon with air. Okay. Now, as you take it along the altitude, you will see it is increasing in size. It will keep on increasing in size. And at one place it will burst. It will burst. Because air pressure inside, here, see here, in low latitude, what will happen? From the surroundings, the air is from inside as well from outside. Okay. But as you are moving, the air inside the balloon that remains same, but the pressure outside it keeps on decreasing. It keeps on decreasing. Therefore, to equalizes the difference in pressure, the balloon expands. The air inside the balloon as well expands. Okay, this is clear. And one more example we can take. Here on the earth, we don't feel the air pressure. Why? Because our blood pressure is more. Because our blood pressure is more. Somewhere it's an air pressure that you have to cut. Okay. Because our blood pressure is more. You can as well say you make a small cut in somewhere. The blood oozes out. That is the reason, because blood pressure is more as compared to the air pressure. If blood pressure would have been less, what would happen? If you cut, air would have rushed in.
Air will get inside.
Yes, air would have get inside rather than blood coming out. Okay. So now see here. If we go with the altitude, if we are moving on the up on the mountains, what will happen? Air pressure decreases with altitude. Okay, so there will be more difference between the air pressure and our blood pressure. There will be more difference between the air pressure and blood pressure, and it may happen. We may have, okay, I forgot the name. Okay, blood will ooze out from our nose bleeding. Okay, we'll have nose bleeding as well. Okay, this is clear.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. Till now, if we consider altitude and temperature only, rotation if we avoid, we have only two pressure belts. That is, on the equator we have equatorial low pressure belt. And here we have polar high. That is high pressure belt. What does it belt means? It is 0 degree, surrounding it 5 degree we take. 5 degree north, 5 degree 5 degree south, 5 degree north. So this equatorial low pressure belt is of about 10 degrees. This equatorial low pressure belt is of 10 degrees. Here we have low pressure. And mainly it is because of the heat from the sun. Air get heated, it get heated warm, it rises up. We have low pressure here. Here, very less heat reaches, it is very cold. Polar regions are very cold. Here we have high pressure. Temperature is very less here, so density is more. So here we have high pressures. And air flows from high pressure towards low pressure, then rises here, moves towards like this. This is the circulation when no rotation is considered. Now, because of rotation of the earth, this air circulation, it is hindered somewhere, it is obstructed, and it more pronounced happens like this here, around 30 degree, and here we have 60 degrees. Okay. So more pressure belts are formed because of rotation of the earth. Coriolis effect, Farrell's law, because of that, more pressure belts are formed. Okay. So earlier that circulation was called as headless cell. Okay, now more 3 cells we have. Earlier only 1 cell was there, 1 circulation. Now we'll have 3. So here take it around 5 or 4 degrees, something like that. And here we have high pressure. Here we have low pressure. This is equatorial low pressure belt. Okay, low pressure belt. Here we have subtropical high pressure belt. This is subtropical. 23 degrees we have the tropics. That is the subtropical region. This is the tropical region. Tropical, temperate. This is frigid zone. This we already discussed based on the temperature zonation. Based on the temperature, we did the zonation of the earth. Tropical zone between the tropics, and between the tropic and the circle, Arctic circles, Arctic circle and Antarctic circle. That was the temperate zone, and beyond it was the frigid zone. Okay. Now around 30 degrees, that is near the tropics, we have the subtropical high pressure belt. This is high pressure belt, and here we have temperate low pressure belt, and here we have polar high. Polar high. Understood now? Because of the rotation of the earth, these two more belts are created. Subtropical high pressure belt, temperate low pressure belt. So, and similarly here, subtropical high pressure belt, temperate low pressure belt, polar high. Around 30 degrees. Around 60 degrees. Okay. This is near the Arctic Circle. This is near the Tropic of Cancer. Okay. Now see here what happens to the air. Okay. We have the first, we will be discussing equatorial low pressure belt. Okay. So in equatorial low pressure belt, what happens? Air here get heated, this we already discussed. Get heated and it rises up. The air rises up. As it rises, it expands. As it expands, it gets cooled down. Okay. Now here there will be low pressure. So air from the surrounding will rush towards the equator. So air is rushing, getting heated, moving up in the air. Okay. Now see what happens here. All the air is rushing here. So here there is very slow movement of wind. Very slow movement of wind on the equatorial low pressure belt. Wind is sides equator. Very calm air is there, and since air is warm, it will be more humid. Warm the air, more humid. You can as well, I can give one example. If you are after the rain, if you sit in the car and you switch on the AC, your clothes will dry sooner. You all have faced this one, experienced this one. So cold air is dry, humid, moist. hold more moisture. Okay, cold air cannot hold moisture. As the temperature decreases, the capacity to hold the moisture decreases. Okay, so more warmer the air, more humidity it can hold, more water moisture it can hold. This you have to remember. Okay, cold air is dry, hot air is warm air is it can hold more moisture. It has the more capacity to hold the moisture. So here we have humid air. Since from the oceans it will take the moisture. Water vapor rises because of the heat. Water vapor is also formed. So here we have humid air, not here. Here we have humid air. Okay. Now humid air is there and very calm air. So what happens here? If any ship is stuck in here while sailing, if any ship is stuck here, since the wind the wind it will won't blow the sails. So if it is stuck here for many days. For a few days, the ship remains stuck here because there is no wind to blow the sails. As they are stuck here, and the sailors used to get becalmed here. They used to get troubled here. Very calm here, very humid here. So they used to get troubled here. That's why this region, this equatorial low pressure belt is called as doldrums. So the drums starts to ring here. Okay, this region is called as doldrums. Because of this, that sailors used to get becalmed
Sir,
here. There
time.
was no. Okay, just a minute, I'll take. Because of it, it is called as doldrums. Since sailors weren't able to move out from this region for many days, and here the air was very humid. Okay. Next lecture we will have the rain here. Okay. Okay, so you cut that portion C, D, E. Don't go through that one. Okay.
Can we
On
leave?
page number 109, yes, you can leave. Page number 109, C, D, E portion. Points are there, C, D, E. Cut those points. Don't go through them.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Just
sir.
go through whatever you have studied. If
Mochi.
you have any doubt, to ask
sir.
next time.
Okay, sir.